Right then folks, okay, another little video. Well, just been listening to praise and worship in the car. Jesus Christ. There's a new favourite song now called God Is With Us by a group called For King and Country. Oh my Lord. What a song. I'm going to put that song into the playlist of this one. Oh, Jesus Christ. That is a... Oh, that's a good song. That is. Yeah. Yeah, that's a very good song. Yeah, it's got some oomph to it, that one. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Just fantastic. Right, so... Yeah, I mean, you should have been able to tell from the last video that pretty much my relationship with God is completely mended after last night. You know, that quickly. There's me thinking that was the end and it's completely mended now. It was earlier in that book because, you know, it was from the heart, me saying I can only get you to focus on him because he's the only one who can help you. So therefore, would I be doing that if my relationship with him, my trust in him hadn't been completely, you know, sorted out? No. The answer to that is no. But, yeah. In the video I did of my angel part 4, I was talking about the fact of love that person before you get a chance to actually love them. And that's why I'm now. I mean, I said in the one I did indoors this morning that the way it's going to be, if she is the one for me, if God has designed her for me and me for her, then she is going to be absolute perfection in my eyes. Absolute perfection. There is no woman on the planet, and there's probably about over 4 billion other women on the planet. There is no one who could compare to her. Not in my eyes. In my heart, there's no one that could compare to her at all. So, yeah, if I'm going to stand a chance of loving her anywhere near as much as she should be, I've got to start now. I've got to start building that love for her now. So, one thing that changes is what I do at the gym. That has to change. Now, because what I was doing it for me. Now I've got to do it for her. Now I've got to try and create the body that is going to be, you know, she's going to be happiest with. I have no idea what she wants in that way from a man. So that's going to be tricky. But I figured, okay, now if I can press 40 kilograms with chest, you know, dumbbells, that's 80 kilograms in total, I think that's okay. I don't particularly need to necessarily do more. Not right now. But what I need to do for, you know, health for the future is work on cardio weight training as well. So that's what I'm going to have to do for her to make sure that I'm as healthy as I can be, as fit as healthy as I can be going forwards. So it'd be cardio weight training. So basically 100 reps with this, 100 reps with that, everything 100 reps. And just increase the weight. And then after a while increase it from 100 to 200 reps. You know, make the muscles work, make the body work. And then occasionally throw in max, you know, just to confuse the body, just to make the body work a bit harder, you know. But give her, certainly on that first night, you know, yeah, try and give her the best that I can give. Yeah. Now, that's a bit of a tricky one because I've always believed that having a bit of a belly, there's no problem with that, because I think when you cuddle someone, you need something to grab hold of. You need some sort of comfort, some sort of squidgy bit. Squidgy bit is always useful, you know. certainly when you cuddle, because otherwise if it's skin and bone or if it's muscle, because muscle is fairly solid. I mean, it's got some softness to it when the muscles aren't, tense. They're reasonably soft. So that's okay. They're fine. I do that, I suppose. Yeah. But part of the reason of strength for her is that she needs to know I've got her. She needs to know I've got her. I'm not going to let her go. She needs to know that I will protect her 100%. I will give my life for her. She needs to know that. And so, yeah. If when I'm holding her, she can feel that there's that strength there. No one's going to be able to pry my arms away from her. Yeah. Yeah. I say I don't know. I'm going to have to be guided by God as to what to do. But certainly it's going to change. Everything's going to change. Yeah. 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 That's the thing of it, really. Yeah. So that's the thing now. Start doing it. And with all other things, certainly, as I say, build a relationship with God. Get that right. Because, we need to build a relationship with God together. So if I can do my part before we get together to build a strong relationship with God as I can, to at least build that relationship where, I can trust God, where, I know that God loves me and that I love God and that I want to serve and I want to be a vessel for Him to use, for Him to speak through me, and I'm starting to practice that and get into that, Yeah. Start walking out in faith and start testing that, start building faith. As I say, faith is like a spiritual muscle. You're going to build it. You're going to make sure it's there when you need it. So certainly for the relationship, we're going to need that. We're going to trust in God for certain things. Accommodation is going to be one thing. Place I'm in, no chance. Even with my stuff, I don't really have space to store my stuff, let alone someone else's. It's far too small, so that's no good. I imagine where she is, whether we allow dogs or not, different matter, and that many dogs, probably not. That's if God brings the dogs back. But there you go. It'd be a case of saying to God, okay, as a couple, we need to write down what sort of home we want, what sort of home we're looking for, and put everything down on paper and just give that to God and say, look, we're trusting you for that, Lord. We're trusting you to provide that within a time frame. Because obviously, well, if God brings the dogs back, then if He doesn't, then possibility her place would be better. But then if God brings the dogs back, then that won't be suitable, so we'll have to find somewhere else for that. But again, God knows exactly the time frame, the window that's needed, the window that's available. He knows that. And so it's just a case of saying, okay, Lord, you know what the time frame is, you know exactly what we need. We're just going to put a few things down so that when you provide it, we know it's you. Step out in faith in that. Maybe. Right. Yeah. I said earlier in that video, I'm about 50% certain. No, I think I was underestimating it quite a bit. I was trying to be conservative, I think, which is not really me. But I was trying to be conservative. It's a lot more than that. But in the end, look, What happens is up to God. My life belongs to him, so he gets to decide what happens. I don't. Well, even that, giving your life, giving your heart to someone. In the world system, you choose to give your heart to someone, right? As a Christian, you don't. Because your life belongs to God, because you gave it to God, God chooses to give your heart to somebody. God chooses who he gives it to. But then again, he's choosing to give it to them because now he wants you, as a couple, to give the hearts, because two become one, to him. So he gives it because he knows you're going to give it back. Because you are. If you've got any sense at all as a Christian, you're going to give that back to God because you know that you need his help. You know, put it this way. No matter how much we're made for each other, without God, we cannot make this marriage work. If there's going to be a marriage, we could not make it work. There's no way, shape or form. The reason why I said this marriage is because if I'm living as if I love her now, I'm living as if we're married now. Already. Now, we're not. But I'm living as if we are, sort of thing. Yeah. Ish. That sort of thing. Is it starting to rain a bit? We've got some moisture coming. Don't know what that was. It's coming from something else. No idea. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, folks. Yeah. It is an incredibly gorgeous, most beautiful thing. But even with all of that, even if God designed her perfectly for me, even if God designed me perfectly for her, for what she needed. There's some blackberries, I'll get a blackberry. Even if God did all of that, the reality is, it wouldn't work. Without God at the centre, it wouldn't work. Because we're still living in a devil's kingdom. Because we're living in a devil's kingdom, we're getting beaten and bashed by that. The marriage is getting hit left, right and centre by that all the time. We need to be living according to God's kingdom. So as I said, you get that Neo effect, where whatever is thrown at you, it doesn't hit. It can't hurt you unless God wants it to hurt you. And if he wants it to hurt you, he wants it to hurt you for a reason. He wants to bless you through that. So therefore, let the hurts come. If he's going to bless you through it, Christian. But that's the thing also in a relationship. This should be the test. One thing that will be the test. When God allows something to hit her, to hurt her, and I see her in that weakened state. That's going to have to be a point of certainly building a relationship beforehand and trusting in God that he's doing this for a reason. Yeah, especially if somebody, is responsible. Yeah. Well, as I say, that's why she's going to have to be strong enough that if someone offends her, then she can stop me, she can put the reins on and pull me back because I want to tear that person's throat out for doing that, and I've got to do the same for her. We're going to stop each other from sinning in order to sort of protect the other person from being offended. Yeah. Because that's the thing, if you love someone, you will help them to not sin for you. There's that song by, Jess Glynn is one of the singers. That one, I'd Lie For You. That's somebody sinning for you. Now, say, as a Christian, certainly as a Christian who's going to love her, I don't want her to do that. I don't want her to commit sin for me. Not in any way, shape or form. I don't want her to want to hurt anyone, I want to attack anyone, I want to, curse somebody because of anything they've said against me. No. I'm big enough, I don't care what someone says about me. Couldn't care less. Could not care less. What they say against you, that's a different matter. But that's where I need you to be strong enough to give me a kick up the arse if I start, getting all sort of, I need you to help me with that. Yeah, of course. Of course I do. I need you to help me with that. It's a very, very important thing. Yeah. 1 second, gate here. I've got to sort that out. Yes, I'm glad I didn't get that on film. Every single gate around here is an absolute piece of rubbish. They don't work. They just don't work. Once you open it, you can't close the poxy thing again. Not one-handed. If I'm doing video, I've got this in my hand. I can't. Stupid gates, really stupid. Coming up to another one in a minute. Yeah. Anyway, again, that's where she needs to be willing to give me a kick up the arse. If I get annoyed with a gate, she needs to say, look, it's just a blinking gate. Don't worry about it. Yeah, no point getting annoyed with it. Right. Right. So relationship, when I talked about building relationships together, what you're looking at that really is getting your communication there. Getting that openness and honesty and respect and willingness to listen to each other. Just that desire, to learn about each other, to learn how each other works, to learn what each other likes. What's your favourite group? What's your favourite film? What's your favourite whatever? How do you cope with that situation? Really? Wow, fantastic. All that sort of thing. That's what the communication is about. Building the relationship is about going there, but it's also about understanding what do we need to do to make the relationship work. So okay, Lord, what do we need to do? Because again, I said earlier about the fact that we're all individual. So as a couple, you're going to be individual, different to other couples. What's going to work for you is going to be different to what works for other couples. So you go to God and, okay, Lord, what do we need to do? What's the plan here? What do we need to do to make this work? Do that. Absolutely, do that. That's what you need to do, so go ahead, do that. This is what's going to work for you. So you look to God, you trust God, and you do what God is telling you to do. Yeah, of course. Well, as I say that, God knows each of you as a couple. God knows as a couple where you're strong. God knows as a couple where you're weak. And God's going to want you to work as a couple in the things that you're weak. Right? So even with things like communication, he's going to want you to work on the things where you're weak, where you struggle with regards to your communication. He's going to want you to focus a bit of attention on that because, that's going to matter. Yeah. And this is the other dozy gate. It does fit in. Yeah, but see it's lower now. Yeah, silly thing. You've got to lift it with one hand and push it in at the same time with one hand. Quite tricky to do. Bring it up there. Hold the phone with that one. And slide it in. Get in there. Go on. That'll do. There you go. That'll do. You in. See? There you go. Lift it up. Put your arm under to hold it up. Switch hands to put your the phone in the other hand. Or the selfie sticky thing. And then, there you go. See? I just basically, for a couple of seconds, just wait on God, and God says, do that, do that, do that. So I've done. See? Hi. Yeah, indeed, yes. Sniffing nose again, so I have got tissues. It's not too bad. It's the weather. It's slightly fresh, I suppose. That's the way you put it, slightly fresh. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, folks, that I am, excited to start doing all of that because, it's going to be wonderful to start doing it. I've said before in other videos, as couples, you need to do that MOT in your relationship. Do MOT your relationship on a regular basis. Yeah. And all areas of your relationship, all areas. Yeah. Have basically a checklist. Yeah. Is there anything we need to do in this area? No. Is there any issues in this area? No. Okay, cool. What about this area? No. Okay. What about that area? No. Okay. Cool. We've had a good week then. There are going to be some weeks when, you need to work on certain things. But then again, if you've got the checklist, if you've got the things you're looking through, and God may tell you other things to add to the checklist, and say you add other things to it. Right. Indeed, yes. But you do that because, you want to make it work. So you make sure that right at the very centre is God. In everything, in every decision, you're going to get to that point. In every decision, God has to be right at the centre. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it needs to be a case where that's second nature, really. 1 second, people here. Yep. Second nature is what it's going to be. Yeah. Eventually, it's just going to be that where it's just natural to you as a couple to always consult with God. Always see what He wants to do, because that's what matters. What does God want to do? That's cool. If you can do that, if you can put God first in everything, if you can put your relationship with Him first, if you can do that, then you've got His guidance, you've got His protection, you've got His provision. And you're going to need that. Yeah. You've got to stay grounded, and that's what yesterday showed me. You've got to stay grounded as well, and God's going to help you to do that. Certainly with things like ministry, when that comes, you've got to stay grounded, and God's going to help you to do that. So as a couple, you've got to encourage each other to stay grounded. Encourage each other to go to God. What does God want to say about this? Yeah? Yeah. Well, as I say, it's all very well patting yourself on the back, but when you pour muscle on your shoulder trying to pat yourself on the back too much, then not exactly good for you, is it? So with regards to, going back to the start of this video, with regards to the training, I've started that already. I've got other weights out now of the, well, actually it's a doggy food box that I've had some weights in, so I've now got them out now. Right, let's get down to it, let's get it focused. Where does that song go? Let's get down to business. Yep, true. Very true. Yeah. Well, that was another song that really spoke to me about Christianity, because it's like, Jesus Christ, we've been, even in my time, 27 years being a Christian. Come on, let's stop playing games. Let's get down to business. Come on. Let's stop playing church and let's see how God wants to run church. Yeah? It's his church after all, isn't it? Let's see what he wants to do with church. Let's get down to business. It's a family business. Let's consult the Father to see what he wants us to do in our job. Yeah. Right. So yeah, be all fun and games. Well, also, I had the word earlier, I forgot it now. With the fingers going numb. I wake up during the night with the fingers going numb. And part of it is that when you're really going for heavy, like when you're doing 42 kilogram dumbbells, those the dumbbell handles are cut in a way where you keep your grip. They're not sidey. And that means they cut into your fingers. What's it called? Blood what? I lost the word again. There's a word for it. But where that keeps on happening. But that will hopefully stop happening. Yeah. Because I've noticed it more when I go for heavy. When I do heavy, I have an issue with that. So it's like, right, okay. Let's not go with so heavy now. Let's go a bit lighter. And just push. 100 reps. Aye. Keep going for that. Well, the best thing is now, because it's now coming up to winter, if it be the summer, I'd be wearing short-sleeved t-shirts and stuff like that. She would get to see, certainly a lot of the upper body, she'd get to see that. Winter, she won't see anything now, will she? No, not until that first night, she won't get to see anything at all. Because it's now the time of the year when you've got to cover up properly. When you've got to keep warm, so therefore... Christy. Yeah. Good stuff indeed. Well, it'd be a nice surprise when I open up a Prezi, wouldn't it? Open up a Prezi. There you go. Yeah. That's one way to look at it, right? That's a sort of playful way to look at the situation, isn't it? So there you go. Right, I'm going back to the car now, so I'm going to leave you to it. You take care, God bless. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.